Hello everyone, I'm Jobless. Today we're gonna show you the code Occultist based on Vortex. So let me start with some delving to show this is the delve event. Then we will continue with the gear showcase and the more details of the build. So it's pretty basic. We start with our Vortex on the left click, so it triggers basically whenever we press on the left click, which is all the time. Then we are putting the frost bomb on the ground for extra damage, and we are also triggering the wild cold snap for again extra damage and the frenzy generation, and also for the boncho. We are at Dal 156 depth, and as you can see monster level is 83 and I'm a 87 level character, so it's pretty fresh actually. And compared to character level, we are in a quite a deep level of delve also. The character is quite good in terms of survivability. As you can see, I don't have much problem, I didn't die much. Many people also running this event on hardcore with the same exact build. Maybe they are a bit more cautious with the level and pushing, but it's all good. Let's run another one. And this event, the endless delve is completely solo self-found and no grouping. It doesn't even have a crafting bench, so it's completely league start viable. The build itself is pretty strong. We are also running on a 5 link also, so yeah, doesn't even need a 6 link for clearing levels 83. Like monster level 83 is basically tier 16 maps. Like you can think of them as like white tier 16 maps to understand. Of course, there are some other builds which was very popular in this league, similar like Detonate 8 builds, but they are scaling with the monster health, which scales quite high in the delve, so it's not the best presentation. And this is the last one, just to show you. As you can see, my XP bar is also filling. We are also triggering the summoning stone. It generally doesn't survive, but it's okay. The build is focusing very much heavy on the curses. We are basically have 3 curses effective all the time. One of them is the frostbite, is basically for the penetrate and extra damage. Okay, let's go back. So we can start with the gear. So the gear is pretty basic. It's all solo self-fund. I started with the wand. This can be a better wand, can be something with the cold dot damage, +1 level of all spells or +1 level of cold spells. Can be much better wand. The helmet is just life and resistance and armor. This is the delve specific unique, which was quite useful, but can be changed with another shield. The boots are dexterity and resistance. I couldn't get life on it, unfortunately. This is again life and dexterity, life and strength. And our rings are, this one is important. So one of our rings is frostbite on hit. This is quite useful. And other ring is just life and resistance, similar to life and resistance. Our shield has apply an additional curse. I think you can get it in different ways as well. And our passive tree is very similar to Jorgen, so this build is based on his guide, but I want to make some couple of changes. So if you don't have a +1 similar to this shield, you can basically just take these notes, Whispers of the Doom, or you can anoint these notes. It's quite expensive, but you can do it. We don't have any anointment in the delve, and you can use that. I took the damage recoup as life. You can drop these 3 nodes and continue here. And when I'm level 90, I will continue here, like here, and I will go down. When I started, I basically started with spell damage nodes, cold damage nodes, and some lightning damage going up. I leveled with icicle mines, and I go to the life. Then I jump over the cold nodes. From cold nodes, then we will go down here and took some bunch of mana reservation nodes and more cold nodes and completed this part. Later I focused on the right side of the tree. This build is quite strong. Just to give you an idea why it's that strong, is the current DAL winner is playing this build actually. If you look at so the winner is 600 depth, Sam Dal, he's running the exact same build. He's using different gem setups than what's suggested. I will put the pet of buildings in the comments so you can check it, because it's a corrupted 6 things and you cannot really recolor them. The tree itself is pretty similar. He doesn't go to the glancing blow for the block, but the rest is pretty similar. He also focused on some additional survivability, such as avoid stun, avoid bleed, that kind of stuff. But what he's doing is quite similar, like very similar build, and he was able to push it the 600 depth in the delve. And winner of the Mayhem Hardcore Solo Self-Fund build is also, like, one of the winners is also this build called Dot, based on Vortex, but it's not Occultist, it's a Trickster based. As you can see, the gems are exactly similar here. He's running with the life tap, Creeping Frost, he's running the Creeping Frost, and there's also, if I'm not mistaken, well, Cold Snap. Yeah, it's the Cold Dot Elementalist based on Creeping Frost, but we are running with the Vortex. It's quite a good build for being a solo self-fund. It doesn't require any money spent. It can be tweaked. And I'm applying one of the curses with the ring, Frostbite on hit. The other curse is applied with the Blasphemy, if you like. I'm using them Fleeble. And you're gonna ask, how do you apply the third one? Third one is applied with where is it? Yeah, Hex Touch, basically. Whenever I use a Flame Dash on a monster, it attached the curse on them. So right now it's Flame Dash, Elemental Weakness, and Hex Touch. What we can do, since we have an additional curse from here, so this is one of the additional. Second additional is coming from the Occultist. You can have additional curse, so we can have 3 additional three curse in total. The fourth one can be grabbed from here with the Whispers of Doom, so we can apply 4 curse on a monster. Fourth curse can be, I probably would put Temporal Chains, I would say, or some other damage based curse. The awakening is basically, you go to the Void Beacon, then you go to the Frigid Wake for the cannot be frozen, cannot be chill, and extra damage. Then depending on how your curse setup is ready, you can go direct to the Malediction if you have the additional curse already ready, or you can go to Profane Bloom. This explodes your minion. When we were playing, everything was exploding when they die. That's the reason this explodes, and this is a great way for increasing your clear speed also. Yeah, I think I will be pushing this build for until level 90 and probably up to 200 delving. Then you'll continue. It can be good to start your build with the next like this, if it doesn't get too much problem with the nerfs and everything, or balance change. Just to show you, if we get a rare, maybe I can show you. You see, it was the elemental weakness on top of the builds. Let's open this. Okay, you can see the elemental weakness 3 curse on top of it. Can you do like bossing? It's not really bossing build. It's more about clear build. your single DPS is same as your clear speed basically. Yeah, we died. I wasn't paying attention to the game. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop a comment. It's not an optimized boot at all, but it was good for the delving. Definitely, it can be good for a league start. In the league, you will have access to crafting more, and you will have access to economy if you are playing standard, not the solo self-hunt, which I generally play, which can be much better. There's many upsides you can do with the build. There's many places to improve in terms of 6 link, for example. This build is just running on 5 link right now, but the rest is fine. See you in the next one.